My name is Kathy Stinson, and today we are going to put together a recipe called Blondies. This is just a recipe we found at simplyrecipes.com that was created by Garrett McCourt, and we're going to show you how to use our Cheatin'Wheat in just a traditional recipe to make a really fast, easy, delicious dessert. It mixes up in 10 minutes or less, and you really get to pick your own flavors. Let's review the ingredients first. The recipe is posted online under Blondies, so don't worry about writing things down, but we'll just go over them. This is our Cheatin'Wheat gluten-free flour mix, xanthan gum, salt, baking soda, and baking powder. That is our dry. I've separated it here for you to see, but then we're going to go ahead and mix it very thoroughly before we start. Today's add-ins that we have chosen are white chocolate chips and pecans. I think a traditional Blondie has butterscotch chips, but be careful because several of them have gluten in them, so that is why we have chosen to go with these. Again, you could do any combination you'd like. I usually do dark chocolate chips and macadamia nuts, which is fantastic, but you could do dried cherries, any kind of dried fruit that you would like to make whatever combination appeals to you. This is 1 cup firmly packed brown sugar, and then 1 egg, a little bit of vanilla, and this is actually 4 ounces of brown butter. The recipe calls for melted butter, but we think adding brown butter to them just gives them that extra special deliciousness. It makes them a little bit more caramely and nutty. We have a video on our website of how to make brown butter, which truly just takes maybe another 5 minutes of your time. Okay, as I talked about, we're going to mix this really quick first to get all of our dry mixed up very well together. Okay, the first step of the recipe is to take the brown butter, and we really like not only the brown butter, but all the really delicious dark bits on the bottom of the pan to be part of our recipe. So I'm going to take a little time to kind of scrape those out and make sure they get in. See all those? That is going to make it super tasty. Okay, so there's our brown butter. And then our brown sugar. We're going to mix this pretty well. Now we're going to add our egg. Now when I used to crack eggs, I used to always hit the edge of the side, but actually that is a trickier way to do it. It can let the shells go inside the egg, so you're really better off using a flat surface instead of an edge. Okay. Mix the egg in. Then we're going to add the vanilla. Okay, now that all of the wet is mixed together, I've thoroughly mixed all my dry in and of itself. Now I'm going to add the dry to the wet, and we're going to stir this together. Like I said, we have white chocolate chips and pecans. Really, whatever you would like. There. All right, now I'm going to put it in my pan, and as you will notice, I have used a little bit of parchment to line my pan. This is a great baking tip. Parchment paper is not very expensive. It takes you forever to go through a full roll, and it really makes your baking easier. So instead of having to spray or any of those types of things, I've just lined the pan with parchment, and it'll make your life so much easier in your baking. Okay, now this is going to go in. There. Now, the best way to flatten this out is to just dampen your hands slightly, and that'll keep them from getting sticky, and then you can press it out throughout the pan. I'm going to use my spatula for part of it, and then I will get my hands wet. Now when this bakes, it's okay for it to be a little soft when it comes out. It's actually delicious that way to keep it done, but just that little bit nice and chewy as a bar versus being baked firm like a cookie. And if you want baking times, again, just look at the recipe on our site. There. And there is going to be your Blondie bar.